Before you watch this video, you have to know that all the names mentioned in these videos are not well pronounced. Thank you. But yeah, whatever. You will get the meaning of everything anyway. So if you want to continue watching it, just watch it, right? Well, it's gonna be better in the next video. So enjoy. Hey friends, welcome back. And today we're gonna go back to our TCG videos. Today, Yu-Gi-Oh! So we're gonna do a deck analysis. It's my own variation of the deck. And we're gonna go back to Lightworm. Yes, I know nobody have been playing Lightworm for a while, and nobody actually does play Lightworm anymore. I know that. But let me tell you something very important about Lightworm. Lightworm nowadays is a very powerful deck with all the new cards that have been coming out lately and the links. Yes, it is playable, it is destructive, and it is a really pain in the mouth for your opponents. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the cards. I've been having a hazard with the light. Yes, it is crazy because remember cards shine and then the light just, I don't know, it's just impossible. I've been working with this line and trying to move it everywhere, but still it's not gonna be perfect. Don't blame me for that. It's just really difficult to do. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to start with the Lightworm monster, then the supporter monsters, then our traps, and then our spell cards, and the extra deck. So I'm going to put the Lightworm monsters in order of relevance. So number one and one of the most important cards in the deck. Raiden. Hello. Let me try if it's focus. Okay, Raven, Hand of the Lightworm. Yes, a level 4 card. And look at the attack and the defense. Now, what is really important about this deck? You pause the video if you want to read. So, what is really important about this card? This card, when you put it a special normal summon, you can send 2 cards from the deck to the graveyard. 2 cards. Okay, and each Lightworm monster that you discard, that you put from your deck to your graveyard, it gets 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. That's really good. And at the end of your turn, this card sends 2 more cards to the graveyard. Remember, this is Lightworm. So what you want here is actually to put as many cards as you can in your graveyard. Okay, so we're going to have 3 copies of this card. 3 copies. Number 2, we got Lumina. See, here. Lumina, the Lightworm Summoner. Yeah, Lumina, the Lightworm Summoner. Here it is. So you can pause the video if you want to read, remember? So it's a 1000. What is really amazing about this card? Once per turn, you can discard a card, and then you can target 1 Lightworm monster in your graveyard and special summon it. That's why you need Raven, because Raven send cards to the graveyard, and this card just pick them up from there. At the end of your turn, in your end phase, you will send 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. So this is hell of an important card. Now, the only trouble here is that it's a level 3, but it is good for making the level 3 synchros, that you need them too. 3 copies of this card too. Number 3, we got Wolf. Lightworm, hello, oh Jesus. Let's see, Wolf the Lightworm Beast. This card is very important because this card, yes, it is a brick in your hand. You cannot play it from your hand, but it is super cool because if it is sent from the deck to the graveyard, that card is special summon itself. So that means that card will be, obviously you're going to drop a lot of cards to your graveyard, and that card will just, boom, automatically revive from there. So that's actually cool, and it's a combo piece that you cannot miss. So, wait, let me get the dice or whatever it is. We're going to have 3 copies of the Wolf too. We need Wolf. So, fellas, the Lightworm Archer, that's number 4. These have the same effect as Wolf. The same effect. It comes from the graveyard, but these have a little exception. It needs to be sent specifically for a Lightsworm monster effect. So, if you discard this card, for example, for imagine that you play Sheriff of the Brigade, which is a spell. It's over here. You see it later. That card sends 3 cards to the graveyard. But what happens? If you send this card to the graveyard with the spell card, it will not come back because it requires to be sent to the graveyard by a Lightworm monster's effect. But this card is broken. It's really a good card. You only have 1 copy of that in your deck because it is a brick 2. If you have it on your hands, it's very difficult to get rid of it. So you want to discard it by a Lightworm monster effect. Otherwise, you only have 1 of those in your deck. But this card have a very nice effect. Once it's on the field, once per turn during your turn, to contribute that, sacrifice it in magic terms, contribute that card, destroy one of your opponent's monsters, and then you send 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. Very, very important effect. Only 1 copy of those. So we continue with the 1 copies. We want 1 copy of this one. Gareth, the Lightworm Warrior. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, Gareth, the Lightworm Warrior, right there. So this card, you can pause it if you want to read it, remember? This card doesn't do anything by itself, but every time a Lightworm monster sends a card from the deck to the graveyard, that card, oh Jesus, that card will send 2 more cards to the graveyard, and per each card, for each Lightworm monster you discarded this way, you're going to draw a card. Very important. The only problem is that if you start with that card in your hand, it may be a problem. Because that card doesn't send any card to the graveyard if you don't already have another Lightworm monster in the graveyard who sends a card to the graveyard. So that's why you only have 1 copy of those. Okay, number 6. Lila, the Lightworm Sorceress. So this girl, remember the positive you want to read, this girl, you can put it on the battlefield and you can target one of your opponent's trap or spell cards. You put this card into defense mode and it doesn't go into attack mode next turn. And then you destroy that target. In your end phase, you will send 3 cards from the deck to the graveyard like Lumina. The only good thing is that obviously when you use it, it's not going to stay like that because you're going to use it for a synchro or for anything else. So you are destroying a spell or trap card, and still you're going to use it for a synchro, which is really awesome. And it's a Lightworm. So for our last Lightworm, we have Minerva, the Lightworm Maiden, sorry. The Lightworm Maiden. So this card, it's actually really cool. You can remember, you can pause it there. So the effect of this card, and why is this card in the deck? Number 1, this card is good because when you put this card normal summon, which you will not normally do, but if you do, you can look for a level for a dragon with the same level as the Lightworm monster with different names in your graveyard. Obviously, you want to have 4. You want to have 4 in your graveyard so that you can look for the next card I'm going to show you. Give me a second. So that you can look for this card. Eclipse. There you go. Let me see. Eclipse Wyvern. So what this card does is that if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 1 dragon type from your graveyard. Oh, let me put that thing here so you can pause it. Wait. Here it is. You can banish 1 dragon type from your graveyard, and then if you do, you banish the card from your graveyard, right? It's banished. But then if you banish this card, the card that you banish will return to your hand. Obviously, the only card you will always send to the graveyard is the most important card. Ta ta ta. The Judgment Dragon. That card is the one that you're going to banish because that's the card that you want in your hand, because this is the card that destroys everything. And this is one of the most important cards in the deck. It's at 3,000, 2,600. 3,000, 2,600 destroys this card. The Judgment Dragon. So the good thing about this card is when you put this card on your battlefield, you can pay 1,000 life points and that card destroys everything on the battlefield except him. And guess what? You can pay 1,000 as many times as you want. So if your opponents like try to protect a card, you can just pay the 1,000 again, and then you will destroy everything again. It's just broken. So obviously you have 3 copies of that card in the deck, and you have 2 copies of this card in the deck. 1 1 1 1 3 3 3 3. That's how it goes. Okay, so let's continue with the other cards that you need, and they're very important. This is one of the most important cards in your deck too. Fairy Tale Snow. This card is just broken. This is it. You can pause it there. So when this card comes to the battlefield, you can actually flip opponent's monster from face up attack or defense to face down defense position. So that's actually good. Very, very good. But the good thing about this card is that you can banish 7 cards from wherever you want except the deck. So you can banish 7 cards from your field, hand, or the graveyard and special summon this card. Obviously your graveyard is full of cards, so you wouldn't care to banish some of those cards and bring in this up. So obviously you will banish this, and you will get your Judgment Dragon to your hand, and then boom, you got the combo right there. That's why you have 2 of this, and that's why you have 2 of this. You may play 3 if you want, but I play 2. Personally, me. You may play 3. It's not about option either. Alright, so let's go. Glow Up Bulb. Glow Up Bulb. See? Glow Up Bulb. What is so important about this card? Well, if this card is in your graveyard, you can just send one card from your deck to your graveyard and a special summon the card. I mean, it is good for making the link, and it is good for just throwing another card into your graveyard. Remember, you can only use this effect once per duel. So this is the only you're only gonna do it once in the whole game. But sometimes it saves your life. It's a very important card to have there. Only 1 copy of the bulb. Next, we got Tin Goldfish. Why do you have Tin Goldfish? Because this card, when you normal summon it, you can special summon 1 level 1 to level 4 card from your hand. So you play this, and then you drop this, drop 2 cards, and then you make Minerva out of that. You make this the XC that I'm going to show you later, which is Minerva. That is exactly what you want to do. Okay, so let's go. What's next? Phantom Treasure. This card. Why is this card so important? It's a level 4. You can pause the video right there if you want to read. So what does this card do? If you control no monsters in your battlefield, you can special summon it just because. To special summon it, so that's what you want. 1 card in your battlefield, whether it's level 4, so you can play Raven, or you can play Lila, or whatever other card level 4 to make the Minerva 2. That's really good. So you want this card at the beginning of your turn. That's the card you want. Okay, next. Electromagnetic Turtle. You will probably discard this card, and that's exactly what you want, because this card Oh, let me see. There, you can pause it. Because this card, if it's in your graveyard, you can banish this card and finish your opponent battle phase right there. So that may give you another turn to survive. Next, you got the Goblin Birch, which does exactly the same thing as the Tin Goldfish. When you put it, you can special summon one level 1 to level 4 monster, and you have to change this card to defense position. That's the only problem. Okay, and remember, it got 0 of defense. But obviously, you will use that card for making an XC2. What's the difference between this card and this card? And why do you have 3 of these cards and only 1 of those? Because this one is a warrior, and you can look for that card with reinforcements of the army, and you cannot do that with the Tin Goldfish. That's the only difference between those 2 cards. And obviously, that remember that when you special summon a monster, you have to change this to defense. You don't do that with this one, but really what you want is warrior to look for with the reinforcements of the army, because it is just very important to do that. Okay, next. And this card is in every deck, and you know it very well. Maxi. Why Maxi? Well, just because it's broken. It is one of the most important cards in every deck. Come on, just focus. Wait, let me see if I can focus this. Okay, Maxi. There you go. Everybody knows that card. Come on, I don't have to show you that card. And the effect, come on, you should know it too. Come on. Oh my god. Let me see. Okay, there you go. That's it. So the effect, you know, during your opponent's turn, you can just send that card to your graveyard, and every special summon they do, you draw a card automatically. So automatic card for you if they special summon. That's why it is very important, only 1 copy of that, because you can only play 1. Anyways. Okay, so these are the Lightworm monsters and all the monsters you use in this deck. Remember the copies in the dice? They're there, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3. That's how you play it, and all the other copies are just 1 copy of every one of the others. Okay, good. So let's go to the spell cards. Let's put all this back, and let's go to the spell cards. In the spell cards, you have obviously reinforcement of the army. This card lets you look in your deck for a level 1 to level 4 card. Obviously, you're gonna look for Raiden. He has to be a warrior, remember. So you're gonna look for Raiden, and if you have Raiden in your hand, you want to put the Goblin Birch. The Goblin Birch, this one, Goblin Birch, this one. Why? Oh my god, the focus problem again. Okay, there you go. Because remember, this is a warrior type, so you can just put it and put the Raiden too, and then make the Minerva. That's why Goblin Birch is per 3, and now just 1 copy as the Goldfish. Okay, so next, you have 2 of the most important cards in the deck. Number 1, Charge of the Light Brigade. This card is very important because you send 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and you add 1 level 4 monster, Lightworm monster from your deck to your hand. So you can look for the Raiden with that, or for Illumina, or for whatever Lightworm monster, because all of them are level 4 or less. Next, Solar Recharge. This card is very important too. It's a power draw card. There you go. So you discard one Lightworm monster, you draw 2 cards, and you send 2 cards to your graveyard. Very nice. Why? Remember, you have some cards you don't do anything with them in your hands. For example, this card. You do nothing with those cards in your hand. So this card helps you discard those cards and then draw cards per them. That's actually very good because you discard a card, you draw 2 cards, and then you send 2 cards to your graveyard. Perfect card, perfect card, perfect card. And you know what's more interesting about it? Sometimes you end up drawing exactly that same card, and then you do it again. It's actually very awesome. Foolish Burial. This is very important in this deck because this sends a card from your deck to your graveyard, and obviously you can just send this card. You can send a wolf, and then remember, it will special summon itself. That's why it is so important to have this card in your deck. Next, we have Soul Charge. This card allows you to special summon all creatures that you want from your graveyard. And remember, we have a lot of creatures in the graveyard. And for you have to pay 1,000 life points per every, for each card you special summon. But if you have this card in your hand, that's instant kill. Because in the Lightsworm deck, be able to special summon creatures is just destroy stuff. The only thing about that card is that you cannot attack during that turn. You do the effect of that card. So that means that if you special summon all those monsters, you cannot attack that turn. But it doesn't matter because you will put everything you want in the field. So trust me, it is a very good decision to do that. Next, and this one is my personal opinion. I actually like this card. And it's Monster Reincarnation. You send one card to the graveyard and you return one card. Why Monster Reincarnation? Easy. You don't want this in your hand. You don't want this in your hand. Sometimes you need a Lightsworm monster to be in your graveyard. And remember that sometimes you send this to the graveyard so you can return this card to your hand from the graveyard. And that's all the spell cards you use in this deck. No, the copies. Wait, we haven't talked about that. So you have 3 and 3, and all the others just 1. 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. Why do you have too many spell cards? Remember that you will discard them anyway, so you don't want them to be discarded. But all of them have a very specific reason, and trust me, you need them. Next, these 2 cards, I don't know if I have to explain them, but let's do it. Solemn Strike, that's the most famous trap card in the world. Solemn Strike. Yep, Solemn Strike. So that's easy. When a monster will be special summoned or a monster effect is activated, you can pay 1,500 life points, negate the summon or the activation, and if you do, destroy that target. Next is Breakthrough Skill. Well, it is easy to explain this card. You just put it there, and if a face-up monster effect, you can just negate the effects of a face-up monster. That's it. But you know what's very, very important about this card? If you discard this card during your turn, you can banish that card from your graveyard and negate another monster's effect. So as you will discard them, they will be in your graveyard because you will burn them from your deck. You can use it during your turn to avoid your opponents to disrupt you or from disrupting you. Okay, so those are all the cards in the main deck, and this is the extra deck. Okay, most of these cards you know them. So Castle Musketeer, I will not explain these ones because these ones are very common. If you want to know what they do, just pause the video. You'll see it right there. So Castle Musketeer, Gaga Cowboy. This one, because sometimes you just need those extra 800 damage. So let's continue with the XCs. Let's see. This one, which is a very important card because you can detach one material from the card, discard your whole hand, and draw 2 cards. So if you see, all of them are level 4 because you have a lot of level 4 cards in this deck. So you need level 4s there. Obviously, Utopia, and Utopia the Lightning. Well, this one is impossible to read, but whatever. Utopia and Utopia the Lightning. Those are 2 very common cards too. Everybody has them in their deck. Okay, what else is here? Abyss Dweller. Very good card for disrupting people, and if they play it to you, well, good luck with that, because they will negate your whole graveyard. And in your case, that's destructive. So the most important card, Minerva, the Exalted Lightsworm. The Exalted or whatever. Oh, Jesus, is impossible. It's too small. I guess you have it there. But this is the most important card in your side deck. That's why, sorry, your extra deck. That's why you have 2 copies of that card. So what does Minerva do? Well, you can just detach one material from it, and you send 3 cards to your graveyard. Per every Lightsworm card you discarded this way, you draw a card. When Minerva is destroyed by your opponent's effect or attack, you send 3 more cards, and per every Lightsworm monster you destroy a card in the battlefield. That's actually very good for killing all of your opponent's monsters and for avoiding your opponent from killing you. If they don't banish this card, they are in trouble. Next, this card, which is relatively new, is one of the most broken cards in this deck too. This. Oh, letters are too small though. There you go. So this card, just read it. It is just broken. Next, we have the only link that we need in this deck, which is the Code Talker. This card allows you to give you, opens 2 more positions and 1 for your opponent. You can actually put something there too if you want. So the good thing is that this card can actually negate effects by destroying cards, and you want to destroy cards sometimes. So next, these are the synchros, and you know these cards very, very well. By the way, all of this is 1 copy. The only 2 copies is this one. So what else is here? Let's put the synchros over here. These were the XC and the links. Let's go to the synchros. We got Black Rose. I don't have to explain these cards. Black Rose. Everything goes to waste. Coral Dragon. Just in case you get the Luminas there. Or Minerva, how I call it. You got this. Is the only level 8 synchro. Scarlight. It's impossible to... Oh, Jesus. You know that card. It's a Scarlight. Okay, next. We got this one, just in case you end up with that level 7. It's not really relevant. You can actually just not put that card. And this card that saves you from a lot of trouble sometimes. It's Michael the Arc Lightsworm. You can banish. You pay 1,000 life points and you banish this card. You banish 1 card from your opponent's side of the field. Very, very, very powerful. And that's the whole deck. That's the whole deck. Obviously, in your side deck, you may have some Twin Twisters and something. Let me see. More Soling Strikes in your side deck. You can have another of these if you need it. Obviously, you need Ghost Ogre, 2 of them or 3. You need Twin Twisters, just in case you're playing. They're playing Magicians, and more Magicians, and especially me, I use this for the Magicians too. Dark Bright. It's a stupid card, but it actually saves you from a lot of things sometimes. So that's it. Oh yeah, this card is not that good anymore, but it may save you from a lot of things too. It's a time space trap hole. Okay, so let's do this before we finish this video. I have to show you how it works. So I'm gonna shuffle this deck normally, like it is a normal game, and let's say that it is our first turn. We're starting just duel, and then let's shuffle this. Let's shuffle. So we're gonna play a turn 1 with this deck, and let's see how it works. This deck has 42 cards. It's supposed to be 40, but 42 is alright, trust me. It works perfectly. So we're gonna just play a normal hand and see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Let's play a normal hand. And boom, let's see. So we're gonna shuffle here so you see nothing is trick. So let's see how it works. So this is our deck here. We're gonna put the bank cards over here and the graveyard over here. Okay, so we're gonna draw 5 cards. Let's see. We got Raven already. Oh, perfect. Phantom Treasure and another wolf. Okay, so we got 2 wolf in hand. That's not good. But look, we got this card. So we can special summon this card because there's nothing on the battlefield, right? And then we can put the Raven. Raven will activate its effect and send 2 cards to the graveyard. Another Raven. Okay, this is what is in the graveyard right now. We have 1 Lightsworm in the graveyard. So we can put these 2 cards together and put a Minerva. This is remember, first turn. Minerva, right there. We will discard the other Raven, and then we're gonna send 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. As there is a Lightworm monster, we're gonna draw 1 card. A Fairy Tale Snow. Okay, right there, that's not a good starting thing, but obviously they cannot kill it. And if they kill it, remember, we're gonna be sending 3 more cards, and you're gonna destroy 1 creature from your opponent's side of the field. So look at this. Solar Recharge. So Solar Recharge, you send 1 Lightworm monster, you draw 2 cards. Look what I told you. Another Solar Recharge. That's what I was trying to explain. And now you draw 2 more cards here. So look at this. Right now you have 4 Lightworm monsters, 4 with different names in your graveyard. So before you do whatever, you can special summon this card and destroy everything. But let's do another Solar Recharge and send the second wolf. And then we're gonna draw 2 more cards. 1, 2, and we're gonna throw 2 cards here. Perfect. Okay, so look how many cards we have here. A lot. Look. This is our second turn, and we have half of the deck here. So what now? What now? Look. Special summon. Activate its effects. It kills everything in the battlefield. Literally, it kills everything in the battlefield except for him. You pay 1,000 life points. Then you do this. You summon, normal summon this, and we can send 1 card from here to the graveyard, and then we can special summon another card. Obviously, the best option will be the Fairy Tale Snow. Why? Because you can special summon it from the graveyard. So you send this one to the graveyard, and we will obviously put Raiden again back in the field. Now, we could put another Lumina, and then throw this to the graveyard. And then we can put another Lumina. Look at this. We have 3 Luminas in the battlefield. And then with this, because of this, you remember, we're going to look through the deck and look for the Judgment Dragon and put it here. Good. It's banished. Okay, so let's shuffle again. Shuffle. This is it. Look at this. This is turn 2. Turn 2. Look, we have 4 creatures in the battlefield and one Judgment Dragon banished. So with this last card, this one, we're going to discard the Glow of Bulb, and we will put the Raiden. Let me see. Raiden. Okay, so after that, what to do? Before you do this effect, before you do it, we're going to grab this. Let me see. How can we do this? Yes. These 3 cards, don't need them anymore. These 3 cards, we're gonna put them here, and we're gonna put the link right here. The link. So that opens up 2 spaces, this one and this one. So now we do the effect of the raven. Why now and not before? Because if we had had a wolf, we wouldn't be able to put it because it was full. Okay, so what now? It looks like we finished, but we haven't finished yet. Look, with this fairy tale snow, we will banish 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very important, 6 and 7. So because we banish this card, we banish it, we're going to return this card to the hand. It's ours again. Remember, we destroy everything with this card. So what now? This card will be special summon right there. Right? So you have this card in your hands. So what happened? You can do a lot of crazy stuff here. You can do another Minerva if you want. You can special summon this card too. And you can put this 2 and put this card. If you think you cannot win this turn, what you will do is you will attack with everything you have, kill every of your opponent's monsters, and then you will do this. You will make this XC in like this. So all the cards will go to defense mode, and all the effects will be negated. As the link doesn't have defense, it will not go to defense mode. You know what that means? It is very, very, very possible that your opponents will not be able to do anything next turn. So, and if you want, you can actually destroy one of these and negate whatever because of a decode talker effect. So if your opponent does nothing, next turn, you draw a card, look at this, put it there, then you put this on. You have to put this, look at this, you get this here. So you do this, and now you can attack with everything. Everything. And guess what? You can have another fairy tale snow by just removing 7 cards from here. And guess what? If your opponent will have wanted to attack, you had this in your graveyard that you can banish and end the battle phase. So this is how powerful this deck is. It is just destroysive. So people, sight! See you next chapter. I hope you enjoy this one. I know it's not perfect, but I will get it better. See ya next chapter, and wait for the How to TCG Yu-Gi-Oh! Edition. Bye-bye.